A Game of Thrones, the first book in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series is cruel, brutal, merciless while also immersive and creatively beautiful. The story begins when King Robert visits the northern castle Winterfell to ask Ned Stark to be his right-hand assistant, or Hand of the King. The previous Hand, Jon Arryn, died under suspicious circumstances. Robert comes with his queen, Cersei Lannister, and his retinue, which includes a number of Lannisters. Just after the royal party arrives, Ned's wife, Catelyn, receives a message claiming that the Lannister family was responsible for the death of the former Hand. She tells Ned, who accepts the position as Hand in order to protect Robert from the Lannisters. Ned's son Bran then discovers Cersei Lannister and her brother Jaime Lannister having sex, and Jaime pushes Bran from a window to silence him. Everyone thinks Bran simply fell while climbing around the castle. While Bran is still unconscious, Ned leaves Winterfell and rides south with Robert. The same day, Ned's bastard son, Jon, leaves to serve at the Wall, a massive structure that protects Westeros from the wilderness of the far north. The group of men sworn to defend the Wall, the Night's Watch, have been receiving reports of strange creatures and have been losing men with increasing frequency. Tyrion Lannister, a little person who is brother to Cersei and Jaime, travels with Jon to the Wall to see the massive structure. Meanwhile, on a continent east of Westeros, Daenerys Targaryen marries the warlord Godrigo, one of the leaders of the Dothraki people. Daenerys and her brother Viserys are the last surviving members of the family Robert defeated to become king, the Targaryens. They are an old family said to be descended from dragons, and Viserys thinks with Godrigo's army he can retake the throne. A knight named Ser Jorah Mormont, exiled by Ned Stark, pledges he will help. Daenerys receives 3 dragon eggs as a wedding gift and becomes immediately fascinated by them. On the trip south to the capital, called King's Landing, Robert's and Cersei's son, Joffrey, and Ned's daughter Sansa, who everyone presumes will be married one day, go for a walk. When Joffrey sees Arya, Ned's other daughter and sister to Sansa, practicing her sword fighting with a boy, he decides to show them he's a better fighter. As pets, all of the Stark children have direwolf pups, a wolf breed larger than normal wolves that also happens to be the symbol of the Stark house, and Arya's wolf injures Joffrey defending her. Though Sansa knows Joffrey instigated the fight, she will not tell on Joffrey because she's in love with him. As punishment, Cersei wants Arya's wolf killed, but since it ran away after hurting Joffrey, Cersei demands that Ned kill Sansa's wolf instead. Meanwhile, an assassin tries to kill the unconscious Bran and fails. Ned finally reaches King's Landing to find that Catelyn has sailed to the city in secret to discover the truth about the assassin. She has the dagger the assassin used, and after examining it, Catelyn's childhood friend Littlefinger recognizes it as belonging to Tyrion Lannister. Ned tells Catelyn he will try to determine who killed the former Hand, Jon Arryn, and tried to kill Bran. Bran finally wakes from his coma, but he doesn't remember how he fell. Tyrion visits him on his way south from the Wall to deliver a greeting from Jon. Tyrion continues south as Catelyn starts back north, and when their paths cross, Catelyn has him seized for trying to kill Bran. The world in which the story takes place is richly built with interesting and unique locations. No two places are alike, not even the small towns and the villages. Similarly, no two characters are alike, even if they have minor roles like Robert Baratheon's Kingsguard or Jon Snow's friends at Castle Black. Each and every castle has layers of uniqueness not only to it but also to the people living in it. The palaces of their birth and upbringing affect the way each and every character works. What makes this world really immersive and addictive is that its characters are real. They are not mythical heroes striving to do the right thing or malicious villains trying to ruin everything. They're flawed and humane. The good guys commit atrocities that degrade them while the bad guys possess redeeming qualities that put them on the same moral pedestal as everyone else. This is what the whole book is basically. It's a mockery of stereotypes in storytelling. One might read a particular chapter and ask themselves, how could this happen? It's impossible. When in reality, it's more possible than whatever you thought was going to happen. As I've mentioned before, the moral grayness of each and every character is what then makes you care for them. I've to admit that no book has ever moved so emotionally as A Game of Thrones did. By emotions I don't simply mean tears. This book will make you undergo some 1,000 different emotions from the moment you begin to the moment you end.